Good afternoon, I'm Neil Mercado. This is INQUIRER.net special coverage of the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections 2023. Voting is now officially closed in all polling precincts in the country. Our reporters are on the field reporting live from the COMELEC Command Center in Manila is Zacarian Sarao. Live from Quezon City is Chari Abarca. And Jean Mangaluz is reporting live in the city of Manila. To give us an update on the situation over there at COMELEC, Zacarian Sarao is reporting live. Zach?
Yes, Neil, the Commission on Elections on Monday said that this year's Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections were quote-unquote generally peaceful. This is despite several reported untoward incidents, including what happened in Palawan, where a group of disruptors destroyed election ballots and voting precincts in Puerto Princesa, Palawan. A brawl also ignited in Mindanao, where a voter allegedly punched a cop in their polling place. But Garcia noted that these incidents occurred in areas not under the red category or places where a grave security threat was declared. In fact, no violence-related incidents have so far been reported in the 365 areas under the red category, said Garcia. Garcia also noted that the successful conduct of pilot tests in the elections, such as mall voting and the early voting hours for the vulnerable sector. With the positive assessment, Garcia then vowed to hold accountable those behind the disruptions and election violence which occurred during election day. Back to you, Neil.
Zach, I want to talk about the incident in Palawan. How is the COMELEC planning to move forward regarding this case?
Well, first off, Neil, yung botohan sa may Palawan, tuloy pa rin siya. Or at least doon sa dalawang presinto kung saan sinira nga yung balota.
Is the COMELEC planning to investigate kung ano yung nangyari dito? Because some might think na baka ito yung maging cause ng sinatawag na failure of election. Or is the COMELEC considering the incident over there at Palawan as a failure of election in the area?
Actually, Neil, sa ngayon, sabi ni Garcia, yung nangyari, under investigation pa siya, pero na-detain na at nahuli na yung mga miyembro ng grupong nanira ng balota. In terms naman sa kung magkakaroon or ide-declare na failure of election doon sa kung saan naganap yung pangyayari, hindi naman daw dahil nung nangyari mismo, 10:30 ng umaga, kalahati na ng mga botante nakaboto na. Tapos ngayon, tinuloy naman na nila nung nagkaroon na sila ng mga bagong balota. Back to you, Neil.
So Zach, ngayon as we speak, ang mga presinto, nagsisimula na sa mga presinto yung manual din na bilangan ng mga botong na kolekta ngayong araw. Kailan natin inaasahan yung opisyal na proklamasyon nitong mga nanalo sa eleksyon na ito?
Well, una muna ngayong gabi, inaasahan na matatapos na yung bilangan sa ilang mga barangay. Tapos pagdating naman sa proklamasyon, karamihan siguro ay bukas na daw. Bukas pa natin makukuha or malalaman kung sino-sino yung mga nanalo.
Maraming salamat, Zach. That's Zacarian Sarao reporting live. A fistfight broke out among supporters of rival bets in Nunungan Town in Lanao del Norte just before balloting opened on Monday. The fight occurred just outside a polling center. Marine soldiers and police personnel eventually pacified the parties. Commission on Elections Chairman George Garcia says they have yet to determine the cause of the commotion.
Hindi ko po talaga maiisip at wala pa pong kadahilanan. Basta na lang biglang nalapak yung isa ng isang pulis na naka-uniformado. Tapos kita nyo po, wala kayong narinig na isang putok mula sa mga sundalo natin at sa mga pulis. Yung pong commotion na yan, hindi nakapigil sa mga kababayan natin bumoto.
So sir, wala ba pong nahuhuli or...
Ay, yung nahuli, yung mga nanapak na yun.
Let's check the situation in a polling precinct in Quezon City as the Barangay and SK elections come to an end. Here's Chari Abarca for the details. Chari?
Neil, voters who arrived later than 3 p.m. today at Bagong Silangan Elementary School were no longer allowed to cast their votes. Minutes before the voting period ends, Electoral Board Chairperson Romando Vedra says they will only accommodate voters within the 30-kilometer radius of the polling precinct after the official polling hours. He adds that as per the Commission on Elections mandate, they no longer allowed voters to enter the school premises after 3 p.m. Vedra says as of 2:48 p.m., polling cluster number 664 has already reached an 80% voter turnout. Meanwhile, We were also able to ask some of the last-minute voters here at Bagong Silangan Elementary School. One of these last-minute voters is 33-year-old May Poan, who disclosed that she assisted her family members first to ensure that all of them would be able to vote. First-time voter 19-year-old Angel Arroyo, on the other hand, says she had a hard time finding her voting stab, causing her to be late. Neil, to recall, COMELEC previously placed Barangay Bagong Silangan in Quezon City under yellow category. According to COMELEC, areas under yellow category have recorded election-related incidents during the two previous elections. Vedra says Barangay Silangan Elementary doubled the presence of police officers in the center to ensure that no untoward incidents would transpire. Back to you, Neil.
Chari, you mentioned in your report na yung mga dumating after 3 p.m. hindi na pinayagan bumoto. How about those na inabutan ng 3 p.m. deadline sa pila?
Neil, here's the thing. Kapag ka nandito ka na sa loob ng Bagong Silangan Elementary School or within 30-kilometer radius doon sa precinct, ay iaalaw ka nilang makaboto. Ang hindi lang nila pinayagang makaboto ay mga nasa labas pa ng eskwelahan nung 3 p.m. na.
Chari, you also mentioned na itong barangay Bagong Silangan sa Quezon City, isa ito sa mga inilagay ng COMELEC under yellow category. Ano yung difference ng yellow category kumpara doon sa mga lugar that are not placed under any category? Mas mahigpit ba yung seguridad dyan? Mas mahigpit ba yung bilangan na nangyayari dyan ngayon sa barangay Bagong Silangan?
Yes, Neil, kagaya nga ng nabanggit ko kanina, nagkaroon sila ng changes, nag-implement ng changes itong Bagong Silangan Elementary School. Kagaya ng nasabi ni Vedra sa atin kanina, para maiwasan itong untoward incidents na ito, ay nagdagdag sila ng mga police officers na nagbabantay para ma-assist yung mga boboto and para maiwasan din yung gulo.
Chari, last question na lang, no? Nagsisimula na ba yung bilangan dyan? If so, paano yung sistema sa mga paaralan natin sa ngayon?
Yes, Neil, ongoing yung mano-manong bilangan ng boto dito sa Bagong Silangan Elementary School and mano-mano nilang binibilang, nagtatali sila and ongoing ito sa ngayon. And ayon kay Vedra, nakausap din natin siya kanina, ang sabi niya is ina-expect na makapag-proclaim ng winners in less than 72 hours or kung mabilis na makapag-canvas ng mga boto ay maaring bukas ay makapag-proclaim na ng mga nanalo.
Maraming salamat, Chari. That's Chari Abarca reporting live from Quezon City. Meanwhile, mall-based voting for the Barangay and SK elections occurred in 11 locations across the country, with the COMELEC reporting a blockbuster number of registered voters who cast their ballots in mall polling centers. For an update, here's Jean Mangaluz reporting live from Manila. Jean?
Neil, we're here in a mall in Manila. This site is one of the 11 locations for COMELEC's mall voting program, where instead of the usual public schools, voters head to the mall instead. Voters here say that their experience was much more smoother and more comfortable than the usual voting experience.
Actually po, maganda. Mas maganda po kung para sa akin. Mas maganda po yung mall voting kaysa sa school. Kasi at least dito, hindi ka may stress sa init, sakto lang yung tao. Tapos pagtapos mo, mag-enjoy ka na sa kakain ka sa labas. Ganun. Nandito na lahat eh.
COMELEC Chairman George Garcia also called mall voting a success, saying he cannot say anything bad about it. He called it a wonderful experience that's one of a kind. Garcia also said that on top of the mall being more comfortable and spacious, it was more accessible to senior citizens and persons with disabilities.
Alam niyo, kumpara natin talaga yung pagboto ng mga kababayan natin sa malls at pagboto ng mga kababayan natin sa labas ng malls. Naku, di hamak naman po, napakasarap ng buhay dito sa pagboto sa mall. Yung problema sa labas, sobrang pagkainit-init. Tapos kainit-liit pa ng classroom. Pagkatapos masisira pa yung mga upuan ng mga bata.
Voting has come to a close for all precincts. As you can see behind me, people are eagerly awaiting to see the result of their votes. Since this is a barangay level, the candidates are much more closer to voters. We've had some people say that candidates were their neighbors or their acquaintances. Ultimately, voters say they want a candidate who's able to help their community.
Kahalagaan po ng pagboto is para sa bayan. Para umunlad yung barangay niyo. Yun lang naman ang sa amin, mga botante, mga naninirahan sa barangay, na makakuha tayo ng pinuno na maglilingkod ng totoo.
Neil, back to you.
Jean, paano yung sistema dyan sa mall voting? So now, tapos na yung mismong botohan, ano? So we now transition doon sa bilangan. Paano yung sistema dyan ngayon ng bilangan at pag-canvas ng mga boto sa mga malls?
Neil, katulad nga nung nagaganap ngayon sa NMICHARI, they're manually counting the votes. If you can see behind me, yung taga-COMELEC, she's reciting all of the ballots one by one. Tapos nasa likod niya, may mga poll tally in front. So we don't know yet until when this will end. But kanina pa kami nandito. It's been
Hindi ba mas mahirap, no, na yung bilangan dyan? Kasi as you know, a mall is a public place. So medyo... Jean?
Hello, yes.
It seems like we're having some audio difficulty. Can you hear me now, Jean?
Yes, I can hear you now, Neil.
Okay. Neil, Jean, hindi ba mas mahirap yung sistema ng dyan sa mga malls? Because as you know, a mall is a public place, right? So, medyo maingay. Hindi ba yun nakakaabala doon sa nangyayaring bilangan dyan?
Yes, actually, Neil, right next to me, may mga rides, may mga games right next to me. So, kanina when they were reciting the names of those who weren't able to vote, medyo mahirap nga marinig yung mga names ng mga tao hindi nakaboto. So it's very hard to verify who voted and who didn't. Pero based on the people we've interviewed and Chairman Garcia himself, he said na he would prefer to have mall voting because it's more comfortable. So we'll see in the future if we're going to see more mall voting.
Especially when we take note na a lot of our schools, mga facilities available there ay hindi friendly for senior citizens and persons with a disability, especially when compared to malls.
Tama yan, Neil. So we have elevators here. There are a lot of options for persons with disabilities to go around in malls, unlike in schools na every now and then ka lang makakita ng rampa para sa PWDs.
Maraming salamat, Jean. That's Jean Mangaluz reporting live from Manila. The Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, says a Basilan resident was killed. PPCRV BARM Regional Coordinator Dave Procalya does not provide further details except that the victim was a resident in a barangay, Bohelebung, in Tipo-Tipo, Basilan. In a related development, Procalya says another shooting incident was reported in Tuburan Town in Basilan. The incident occurred in the polling centers of Barangay Sinulatan and Barangay Lahi-Lahi at around 9:30 a.m. on Monday. In a report, Procalya says arguments between supporters of both opposition and administration candidates turned violent. However, he says no casualties nor injuries were reported. He adds the presence of police and military have been augmented. This INQUIRER.net special coverage of the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections 2023. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.